Hello, 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 hello. This is Father Adam greeting you with more good news that I know you can use. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta, lived 87 years here on earth. When she was 27 years old, and we know all of this from her writings that were examined by the church during her canonization process. At 27, she had a crisis of faith in which, for the next 60 years, she could not feel the presence of God. And yet, every single day, she would go to Mass. She persevered. She spent 1 hour in adoration before the Blessed Sacrament, and she didn't feel anything. And she served the poorest of the poor, the outcasts, those that nobody wanted in Calcutta and throughout the world. She is the great example of faith for us. Somebody that we now know had doubts. Doubts are normal. God is not electricity that you feel when you get a shock. God is something that we experience in our perseverance and in our trust. Because faith has nothing to do with belief. Even the devil believes in God. But what does that do for the devil? The devil doesn't have faith because faith has to do with trust. We are to trust God. Mother Teresa trusted, even though she didn't feel anything. So you are to trust as well and persevere and not give up. I finished the seminary with 7 young men who were ordained as priests. Right now, only 3 are priests. 4 have left active ministry and active priesthood. I'm a priest, and I will always be a priest, and I will keep fighting to be a priest. I always have, and I always will, because I promised God that I would be a priest forever. And I promised you, the church, that I would be a priest forever. And so I will always continue to fight, like Mother Teresa, even though I may not always feel like it. Because you don't always feel like being a wife or a husband or a mother or a father. You don't always feel like going to work, getting up every day. I mean, we all have ups and downs. And sometimes those downs continue for a very long time. Sometimes the down continues for 60 years, like in the life of Mother Teresa. But she persevered. And I'm persevering. And you persevere as well. Do not give up. The devil wants you to give up. But you won't, because you follow Jesus, who made promises to you. And he is the promise keeper, who always keeps his promises. And he wants you to keep your promises as well. So keep that promise, to keep at it, to keep fighting. You know, Mary, the mother of God, the mother of Jesus, she is the great model of faith for us. And the word Mary means, in Hebrew, to struggle. Mary struggled. You think it was easy for her to become a refugee, an undocumented immigrant in Egypt to be persecuted by Herod. Her child, the powerful, wanted to kill her child. She had to do everything in her power to protect her child. She had a very tough life. I mean, the road to visit her cousin Elizabeth, I mean, there was no Uber back then. No Lyft. No taxis. And she was pregnant. I mean, she had to go through those mountains surrounded by all sorts of snakes. There's a lot of snakes around, aren't there? Ah! Scorpions. But she did it. She kept fighting. And you do that as well. We take our example from the great saints, like Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta, like Mary, the mother of Jesus, the mother of God. Saint Mary. That's why we call her saint. Great example. We persevere. We do not give up. And you won't always feel like it. I mean, come on, let's just be real here. If you get diagnosed with cancer, you're not gonna feel like believing. Why? When your husband of 35 or 40 years says to you, I no longer love you. I don't want to be with you anymore. You think you're going to feel it? You think you're going to feel like having faith? Like believing? No. You're going to have a crisis. You're going to have darkness in your life. When you find out your child is taking drugs. I'm thinking of real situations here. Or when your child is depressed and you don't know how to help them. All sorts of situations. When your husband of 55 years dies and you can't find yourself. You're overwhelmed. All sorts of things. You're not going to feel it. But you got to keep going. You have to keep at it. And you got to keep fighting. So keep the faith. Don't give up. It only gets better. God is in our life. It has to get better. We're going through things. We're not stuck. See, Christianity is a journey. It's a pilgrimage. It's a walk. In fact, the early church called this experience that we have with Jesus the way. We're on the way. We're not stuck. We're walking. So we keep walking and we keep at it. And it only gets better. I'm praying for you. Do pray for me. Big kiss. Don't give up. It only gets better. Keep smiling. Remember, the devil cannot smile. The devil is pure gloom, pure sadness. God is joy. Chapter 15 of John's Gospel. I came that you may have joy and that your joy may be complete. That's what Jesus wants in our life. So we keep fighting it in our life, okay? I love you very much.